Hey YouTube, what's up? What's up? This is your UK farmer, and this is the channel where you make money in the most safest possible manner. But I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own research. With that note, let's get started. Guys, today I'm going to be talking to you about my strategy on making passive income without taking a lot of risk, right? And for that, I've chosen a finance which is polyquity finance, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you how to make money out of thin air and then how to multiply it without taking much risk. Sounds nice, isn't it? Yeah, that's possible. I'll tell you how. Right. So if you have some cryptocurrencies which are lying passive, right? So you could use some of those to make money, right? And that's all about yield farming, right? That's all about DeFi. But uh, how to make optimum use of your cryptocurrencies, right? So what you do is tell you I'll tell you what I have done here, right? So I have actually gone to before I go to Poliquity, right? I'll show you. I have deposited my cryptocurrency into Aave, right? I've deposited my cryptocurrency into Aave.com. So if you see here, if I go to Aave.com, just a second, it's loading. If you go to Aave.com, you can see that I've got about 0.6%, zero point 0.6 BTC. I mean, of course, I've got everything into Polygon now. So I've got about 0.6 BTC and about 1.018 ETH, right? So that's what I've got in my account now, right? And this is what I've deposited into it. So for which I get an interest of 0.06 percentage, which is nothing, but that's okay. That's not the purpose of it. The purpose was different. So I just thought it's okay. But I also got to get about 0.31 Matic, right? Along with that, I've also deposited ETH, about 1 ETH, getting about 0.15 percentage, again, nothing, with about 1.26 percentage APR for Matic, right? So I keep getting some Matic as well. Again, this is the most interesting part, right? So I have borrowed some money here. You could see that I've borrowed. I had a lot of borrowing, but I just keep repaying it back as soon as I earn the money, right? I just keep repaying it back. So you could go and borrow whatever you want to, right? You could borrow Matic, you could borrow DAI, you could borrow USDC, you could borrow anything, right? So, and of course, there's the interest on it. So what I did was I did borrow Matic. So the Matic, for the Matic, you have to pay about 4% interest, but you still get 1.26 percentage of Matic for you, right? So even though you pay interest of 4.97, you also receive a Matic for about 1.26 percentage APR. So what I did was I took a lot of Matic, right? I took about 900 Matic, okay, as a loan, and I went and deposited that loan into Polyquity Finance. Okay. So how does Polyquity work, right? So let me explain, give you a background of how Polyquity works, right? So polyquity is a very interesting concept, right? So what they do is they give you a 0% loan on their own stable coin, which is PUSD, which is 1.0111, right? So it's a stable coin. It doesn't go up, it doesn't go down. So, and they have their reward token, which is PYQ. They pay you in a reward token, which is PYQ, and they have a stable coin called PUSD. So what they do is they ask you to deposit Matic. Okay, they ask you to deposit Matic into their trove, and you can take a loan against the Matic. So if I've deposited about 900 Matic, and I've taken a loan of about 463 PUSD, which is their stable coin. As I said, it doesn't go up, it doesn't go down. So I've taken a loan of about 463 PUSD. So, and after that, what do you do? So you have multiple options. You can do anything with this money. It's a 0% interest. That's what they claim. it's a 0% interest, right? They give a loan on a 0% interest. But having said that, it's just not 0%. They also charge you about 10 PUSD for a liquidation. In case you get liquidated, right, they charge you about 10 USD as a reserve fees for liquidation, right? That's what you see here. So let me explain you, right? If you go to the documentation, right, it's all pretty clear. So if you go to the documentation, lots of things are getting pretty clear, right? So as you see here, the PUSD is the stable coin. And so how is the PUSD minted? It's minted by staking Matic on a Polygon network. And PUSD is not it's not an algorithmic stable coin. It's a stable coin pegged to a dollar or a USD, right? So it's safe in that way. It's not a iron finance sort of a token, right? So you can redeem it back to PUSD. If you don't want your Matic, you can redeem it back to PUSD. So it is minted by staking your Matic. That's the first thing, right? And what is a PYQ? PYQ is, as I said, is the reward token. It's a secondary token. It captures the fee revenue that is generated and is distributed to the people staking the PUSD or a PYQ. So how do they do that? So whenever you borrow some money, whenever you borrow PUSD against your Matic, you are charged a percentage of fee, right? I think it's about 2 PUSD or something which gets charged. And whenever you redeem your Matic for a PUSD, right? When you say that when you put your PUSD and get your Matic back, again, you are charged a percentage of fee, right? So that's where the fee revenue comes into play. And this is what is distributed as a reward to the people who stake. Okay. So so now the next thing is, how do you make money, right? So as I said, put your cryptocurrency into Aave, borrow Matic, which is what I've done. I've borrowed about 900 Matic and I've put it into poliquity, taken a loan of about 400, 500 PUSD, and I go and stake it. Okay, I stake the PUSD. Okay, why should you stake it, right? So let's go to the documentation, right? Okay, if you see here, the stability pool rewards are about 12% issued to the users who deposit PUSD, right? So the two pools continuously minted for 3 years for liquidity providers, blah, blah, blah. So eventually, right, so 25%, so it's about, the community gets about 60% and 25% of the token gets locked, right? So will be locked in the contract. So that's what they do. And some percentage goes to the developers and so on and so forth. But then, right, so the key part here is, why would you stake this PUSD, right? Why would you stake this PUSD? So there are a few benefits which I'll go through for now. I don't know, where did I see this documentation? Have they got it removed? Right. Look at this, guys. Right. So if you see here, how does poliquity work? As I told you that this is the way it works. So you borrow your PUSD against your Matic by opening a trove. And once you have your PUSD, you put it into the stability pool, right? So let me show it to you here very clearly, right? So this is a very clunky website. So, but then, but the actual concept is good, but they have to really work on their website. Sometimes you need to keep refreshing it. So you go here, okay? You go and deposit your Matic. So that's what I did. Now I have only 10 Matic, so I'm not going to deposit anything. So I deposited about 900 Matic. And I borrowed about 450. I borrowed about 450 PUSD, right? That's what I did. So when you do that, as you see here, I'm not going to do that, but you can see here, you pay a fee of about 2.24, which goes as a rewards to the rest of the users, right? So I just showed you that. So as you can see here, this is my trove. In my trove, you can see that I have a collateral of about 201%. So they ask you to maintain a collateral of minimum 110%. So I could have borrowed more. So I have 900 Matic, so I could have probably borrowed like 800 PUSD, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to get liquidated, right? So I'm trying to play safe here, right? So I've put about 200, and this is anyway free money for me, so I'm just trying to be safe here, right? So after that, I take this 463 PUSD, I put it into my stability pool, okay? So look at this is APR. I get about 73% APR for my 463 PUSD. You might so I stake my PUSD and I get a reward in the form of Matic. I get a reward in the form of PYQ, mostly in the form of PYQ until someone gets liquidated, right? I'll come back to the concepts of liquidation and what how people get liquidated and how the people who stake get benefited. This is not it, right? What do I do other than this? I get these rewards, right? I take these rewards, I stake them again into a PYQ pool. So I go to the PYQ pool, I stake them again. So you can see that I've got about 20 PYQ. So what do I get as a reward? Again, I get a PYQ as a reward, I get a PUSD as a reward. So as you can see that I'm multiplying my money, money which I made out of thin air 3 times. First, I took money out of Aave. I put my cryptocurrency, borrowed my Aave, borrowed my Matic, deposited my Matic, got a loan against that, which is of 0%, and deposited that money into my stability pool, where I get some rewards, and took that rewards and I deposited that into my reward pool. How many times you just deposit money, right? So you also need to know there are some issues as well with these, right? So everything is not so easy, isn't it? So again, this PYQ token, right? Today the price of a PYQ token is what is it? 24 cents, right? I think this was sometime like 2 weeks before it was $3, right? I don't care, to be honest, right? Whether it's $3, 24 cents, for me, it's free money, right? In fact, the lower the dollar value of the PYQ, it's better for me, right? Because there is all chances that it's going to go up in future, and they want to incentivize the early adopters, and that's the whole concept of polyquity, right? So I'm going to tell you a few more things, right? You see the options here like farms. You can do a few things, but you know what? I'm not into any of these farms, to be honest. So you could put a PUSD and a USDC into a pool, and you could probably get a APR of 60%. Well, why would I do that? I have to, when I'm getting a PUSD uh, staking of about 70%. So I'm not going to do this. But this one is good. You get a APR of 978.07%. At this stage, it looks to be okay because anyway, the PYQ is at its lowest point. I don't think it's going to go any lower. So probably it's okay. But if the PYQ goes very low, maybe to like 3 cents, 4 cents, well, you're going to be under terrible loss. So I'm not going to go for this as well. So as you know, the easiest option for me, just go for the known options, right? So I've just gone for this option, which is just taking. I'm just taking it. I'm not doing anything else, right? So how do you get this Matic here, right? You see a Matic option here. You don't always get a Matic. How do you get a Matic? So you see this option called liquidation, right? Right. So as you see here, some of the people have got about a collateral of 5,811 Matic, and they have taken a debt of about 5,200 PUSD, collateral ratio of 115. So whenever a collateral ratio goes below 110%, anyone can liquidate them. What will happen if they get liquidated? If they get liquidated, all of their Matic gets redistributed to other users, and the PUSD from the stability pool of all users get moved into is used to repay the debt of this particular user. I know it's a little confusing, but it's very simple. Okay, if there are 10 people who have got some money into the stability pool, they take that money and they make sure that whatever this person gets liquidated, right? All of his he loses all of his matic, and so his matic gets replaced by his PUSD. And so if there is anything which need to be paid, which gets paid from the stability pool, it just gets paid from the stability pool. That's it, right? So he doesn't get his matic, he gets to keep his PUSD, right? But he will lose his 10%, because that's what he loses, because if you're that's the reason they keep this 110%. That 10% goes to all other users. We all get benefited. Whoever is whoever is keeping money in the stability pool, right? So we all get benefited. So last a couple of days before, I got about 30 matic, right? But again, I lost about 25 PUSD. So as you can see here, my debt is so the PUSD staked is about 418.96. This is the catch. This is, I wouldn't say I don't like it, but this is one risk which you have to be very, very careful about. You need to be really careful about, because as you can see here, my if I go to my Trove, my debt is about 463. But what I've staked here, I've taken a debt of 463. But what I've taken here, what I in my if I go to my staking pool, if I go to my stability pool, you can see that I've got only 418. So what happened to the remaining 20, 30, 35 PUSD? It was redistributed to the people who got liquidated and who needed funds, to repay their debt. But instead, what we got their collateral. Okay, I hope it makes sense, right? I know it's a difficult concept. So all their collateral was distributed to the rest of the users, and our money, which was in the stability pool, was used to repay their debt. Okay, but what will they lose? They lose about 10%. What will we gain? We gain about 10%. That's the concept here. If you don't like this, you don't need to stake it here. You can remove all this money. You can still borrow everything, but you don't need to stake anything. You will not get in turn, you will not get any matic. You still get your PYQ. If you're staking it here, you get your PYQ. If you don't stake it here, you can still go to some of the finances like Aravin Finance, put all your PUSD. You could probably, you could put all your PUSD there, and in return, you get PUSD as a reward, because they keep selling your PYQ and keep depositing PUSD and ADI. So there are quite a few options to deal with, but this is one of the methods to make money. I think it's a sort of an interesting concept. I think it's like a MakerDAO in in the Ethereum world. So yeah, so it's a pretty good concept, and I can, so where you're going to make the money. So I'm not going to sell any of these PYQ tokens, right? So I'm going to keep staking them, keep staking them, keep staking them. So I'm sure that someday, right? So it's only like 1 billion tokens, right? So they're going to burn about 300 and ish tokens, right? If you go to, that's why you need to read the documentation. See, I believe in the project, right? I believe in the project. And it's not that risky, if you ask me, right? You don't go to a farming pool where you have to put 4% as a you get rugged in a lot of places. And look at them, right? One other thing which I like about them, right? So just give me a second, I'll show you that. In terms of safety, look at this. They're audited by Certic and Paladin. I don't know what's Paladin, but Certic is a known name, right? Not everybody gets Certic audit done, so which is quite cool, right? And let me go to the documentation. I know this video could be a little longer, but the concept is a little difficult, and I see why a lot of people are not getting into it, even though it's very safe, even though it's very easy to make money, right? So I'm going to show you this. Just give me a second, guys. So as you see here, right, the stability pool. You could read all these. The stability pool is the first line of defense in maintaining the solvency. All they do is they're trying to peg this PUSD against Matic, right? So this is probably making sure that the peg remains the same, but again, it's backed by $1, so it has to, right? So how do I benefit as a stability provider, right? So you can see that people who get liquidated, you get their matic, and if you just keep that matic, and you could just keep that matic and sell it when it really goes up, or you could redeem the matic and get a PUSD immediately. Still, you get your 10% because that's what gets distributed, right? So can I lose all my money by depositing funds into the stability pool? Of course you can, provided if there are some situations where the liquidations occur really fast, right? So the liquidation has to start at 110%, but sometimes it can go so quickly down that it could get, if it gets liquidated under 100%, some of the money from your stability pool which you could lose could be higher than what the collateral you get. That's very, I think it's pretty minuscule. That's okay. I mean, smart contracts are there. You have some risks, you have some rewards, so that's how it works, right? And redemption again, right? So what are you going to? I mean, what is redemption, right? So uh, you redeem your PUSD for Matic. If you really want to do that, you get rewards, right? You get Matic. So today I was looking for this option, to be honest. I had 30 Matic, but Matic was at what, like 1.04. I didn't really like it. I thought, why should I pay my debt? Or what do I do? Or should I increase my PUSD stake? I thought, well, I could increase my PUSD stake. So I was looking to redeem it and close off a little bit of debt. But it's not available because I think they start redeeming facility from what, 15th or 10th, something like that. But it's not available now. What else, guys? What else? So something else interesting about see, this whole project is to incentivize the early adopters. So you should be in early if you really want to make something about it, right? So I'll tell you why. I just saw that somewhere, but I couldn't recollect where exactly I saw that, right? So borrowing. Okay, so guys, what is that they do is, how do they incentivize the early adopters is, actually in the first 1 year, or in the first phase, these rewards, again, right, when you sell your, okay, sorry, there is one more revenue stream which they make. Whenever you sell your PYQ, they charge about 25% transfer fee. It's quite a lot, I know that, but that gets distributed again to the community or the people who stake their PYQ. So they are trying to punish people who try to sell their PYQ and reward the people who stake their PYQ. It's again a way to improve your way to ensure that your token price goes up, right? So, well, as I said, the first phase of it, you get more rewards. I couldn't find it, honestly. I'm really sorry. I couldn't find where exactly it is, but the first part of the first phase of this project, they give you about 25%, I guess 15% of the money as a PYQ rewards, and that keeps getting lowered down in your second phase and your third phase. So the earlier you get it, you get a lot of PYQ, and if you ask me, the cost being low is good. Why? Because look at the percentage here. Like the cost of PYQ is 20. I see a lot of people complaining in Twitter saying that the cost of PYQ is only 20 cents. Doesn't matter. What does it matter to me if it is 20 cents? You get more PYQ because look at this. It's 73% APR against what? Against your PUSD, right? So if you assume that uh, your PYQ cost is like $1,000, just for argument's sake, right? It's $1,000. Today it's only 20 cents. It's $1,000. What will you get? You'll get 0.2 ish in a year. Point. I mean, if it's assume that it's about $100, right? Sorry for the math. So assume that it's about $100, right? $100, or even for that matter, to make all of our lives easy, right? I've got about 400 PUSD. Assume that it's also one PYQ is also about 418 USD, right? So what will you get at the end of the year? You'll get 73% of 418. It could be like 300 $300 worth, or one P. If your one PUSD is 418, you will get about 0.75 PYQ. Yeah, that's what you'll get. But again, now the price of PYQ is 20 cents, and obviously your PUSD is about $1. So 73% of PUSD, you should get about at least 3 to 4 PYQ against one PUSD. And assume at the end of this year, right, PYQ, at least it should go up by 3 times, because they are going to, at least it should go up by 30%, because they are going to burn 30% of their PYQ. So you still get a 30% return on it. Free money, man, just free money. Yeah. So with that note, right, I think I'm see, apologies that, if something is not clear, or because I'm just starting with my YouTube videos, so I get better. So please keep subscribing, and please keep liking and commenting. And what else? What else they say? Subscribe, share with your friends if you like it. Um, so please do encourage me, and I'm going to be giving you quality content. I'm not one of those TA guys who is going to tell you that, hey, Bitcoin, the Bitcoin is going to have a V pattern, U pattern. If all these guys know so much, right? Well, I mean, they would be making millions, right? So what's the bloody TA, right? If they know everything, right? If they know that, tomorrow Bitcoin is going to 34,000, 35,000. No, I mean, I'm not into one of those guys. I'm going to find out quality content where you can really make some good money and be a little bit safe. I'm going to give you that, right? And guys, most important thing, right? Do keep your liquidation ratio quite high. Do not keep it like 110, 112, and somebody will liquidate you and you will lose 10% of it. Rather, keep it high and you'll get some good returns, right? So you'll get liquidated, somebody will get liquidated, you will get the returns. Okay. So with that note, that happy ending. So thank you very much. Keep encouraging, keep smiling. Okay. Cheers. Thanks, guys.